Hello and welcome to episode 53 of Dial H for Heroclix. I am your host, Hunter Smith. With me today is Thorson, better known as Drew Alderson.
How we doing, guys?
And Austin is not here once again.
What a fucking surprise.
Should I punish him? Should we do something like we did last time?
He's threatened to do it to you, so that makes me...
I'll tell you what, let's give him a gimme. I'll give him this one, because there is something going on. He wants to go to that instead, that's fine. Because that's where you're going after this too. Yeah. We'll give him a pass this time.
Oh, but I have responsibilities, I actually show up to things.
I know, you're a responsible adult.
I think
those are the two differences, or the difference. You're a responsible adult, and you have a driver's license. So.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
This is Dial H for Heroclix. In case you are not familiar with our format, we talk about Heroclix, sometimes comics, sometimes movies and things. Today we'll do a little bit of comics talk later in our community section.
There's big shit's going down.
Because there is some interesting Marvel things going down. But today is our short episode format, so we will be going through things really quickly. Typically we wouldn't have a main topic, but we kind of have a really short one, type one today. Let's get into news first as usual. There's very little news today. The only really Heroclix related news is that we have confirmation that the black and white lantern packs that we saw in images from Origins will be able to be purchased at conventions. And we know this now because San Diego Comic-Con is going on this weekend, and they're purchasable there. So we hope and assume that we will be able to purchase them at Gen Con. No word on price. I haven't heard anything on price yet, but I assume they'll be the same as what the other packs are.
$50.
Is it $25? I think
$25.
I think it's $25.
So for all 4 packs, you're paying $100.
Yeah. But still, that's better than what I thought. I figured they might try to do some kind of prize, make them prizes or something. So hopefully they'll be purchasable at Gen Con. Other than that, there is one other thing I kind of want to talk about that will fall under the news section. For those unfamiliar with podcasting and haven't heard about this yet, which I assume would be most of you guys, I assume if you guys are listening to this podcast, you most likely listen to other podcasts from time to time, or all the time like myself. You may be a podcast junkie.
I listen to podcasts too.
So one of my favorite podcasts, and actually my very first one, and one that I've been listening to since I started college, actually, years ago, is Adam Carolla's podcast, a comedian. And he has one of the most popular podcasts. Well, what's going on, and the reason I'm bringing him up, is these patent trolls, which if you're unfamiliar with the term, just Google it and look up exactly what I'm talking about. But basically there is a group of lawyers that buy up rights to certain things that they claim are copywritten, ideas that are copywritten, and they are claiming that they own the rights to the idea of podcasting in general, and that you should have to give any profits you make off of a podcast, you should have to give them a certain percentage. In any episode of a podcast, basically anytime you put out a podcast, you would have to pay them a fee, a copyright fee, for each episode of the podcast. Now, right now, they're just suing Adam Carolla. Mainly, we assume that they targeted him because he gets pretty much the most views out of anybody.
He is definitely probably the most successful podcast out
there.
there.
Joe Rogan's getting more popular too, thankfully, and there's other podcasts out there that are big, but he is one of the big ones and one of the big names. And so what Adam Carolla is doing is going to fight it. He's, a lot of the times these trolls, the main thing they assume is people are just going to want to settle out of court, just quickly give them some money and just shoo them off and not want to deal with it. But the problem is if we did that if Adam did that, or if they end up winning this case, they're going to start doing this to everybody who does a podcast, and eventually try to make it where even us who make zero. In fact, I lose a lot of money off doing it. I pay a lot of money to do this podcast.
Fuck it, I spend more money on Taco Bell going to this podcast than I can pay them.
So even podcasts like us would eventually have to start giving money to these people. So Adam is having a Fund Anything campaign to help fund their fight against the law firm. They've already had to spend like $250,000, and they haven't even started the actual trial yet. He's just trying to get it moved somewhere, because they're wanting to do it in like Texas. He's trying to get it moved to like a neutral area or whatever, not these lawyers' home place. Anyways, this is a long story. But basically, if you would like to donate to this, or if you want more information, you can just Google Adam Carolla Podcast Defense Fund. They have a Fund Anything page where you can find out more. If you would like to just straight up donate money, you can go to their Fund Anything page, and this is similar to Kickstarter. You can just donate money, and they have different things that they can give you, for like t-shirts and stuff if you want to do something like that. Or, then this is a genius idea, you can go to adamcarolla.com and go to the sponsors, support the show tab, and you can click on the Amazon banner, which is on the left side, and basically that'll open up Amazon for you. But if you go through that, if you go to Amazon and do your Amazon shopping this way, if you go to his website first, then you click on the Amazon banner, then anything you buy, Amazon gives a very small percentage of that profit to the Adam Carolla Show. So it doesn't cost you anything extra at all. It's just the next time that you're going to make an order from Amazon, go to adamcarolla.com first, go to support the show, and click on the Amazon.com banner, and then do your shopping. And that way, a tiny bit of the profits that Amazon would have gotten, Amazon gives to the Adam Carolla Show, to the Podcast Defense Fund. So that's something I'm sure a lot of you guys, I know even myself, I don't do much online shopping, but I do get things from Amazon time to time. There are some things I get subscriptions from.
You can get trade paperbacks on Amazon for extremely low prices.
That's true. And I know some people do get some clicks up there. I think Austin's bought clicks up there before.
Austin's not here to talk about that, though.
So, but anyways, please do that. At least do the Amazon thing. Next time you're going to make an Amazon order, think about that. Go to adamcarolla.com first, and then go through support the show and go through the Amazon banner. Next, that's pretty much it for news. Now, our main topic today, like I said, we usually don't do it on the short episodes, but last week we were talking about
maps.
Last week we were talking about the rotation for Modern Age, and Austin brought up a good point. We should talk about any of the maps that just rotated that are important. Are there any new maps?
It's his idea, and he's not even here.
Are there any new maps that could take their place? And for most of them, I found a good example.
Yeah.
We're losing the Garden, which was from Infinity Gauntlet. That was a very hindering terrain heavy map. There's tons of hindering on it. And it's, of course, good for stealth teams, or good for teams that see through stealth to use that as their advantage, like Superman ally teams and Avengers Initiative teams, so that you get the bonus +1 on defense, but they don't. So there are already a couple maps that aren't as good. There still isn't a map really that was as good as Garden, in my opinion. But I gotta say, No Man's Land Robinson Park is a pretty good one.
It is a good one.
And the Legion of Doom, I think it was in the Fast Forces, that has a lot of water and hindering.
Yeah.
That one's not a bad one either. So those are two options, especially Robinson Park, that can replace your Garden map that you just lost. Shadowland.
Big one.
Shadowland is it was in the Hulk set. It's almost impossible to replace.
Yeah, seriously.
Because it had those special rules, and that was what made it.
It does a very unique thing.
So the only other one that I could, when I was looking through, if you just wanted something that made it really hard to get shots in on people, would be the Deadpool Fast Forces map, the Thunderbolt submarine.
I haven't even played that.
It's hard to. There's lots of. You remember the No Man's Land prison map?
Yeah.
How there are all those little rooms you can hide in? Well, the sub is like that, except the whole map is a little bit smaller because the outside is water.
Oh, that map, yeah.
And then it's basically like those little jail cell rooms, except a little bigger.
Yeah.
So it's easier to get in and out of them, but it's really hard to shoot people unless you shoot through blocking. So that's actually a pretty good map, the Thunderbolt Submarine map, to bring if you have a melee-heavy team and you don't want to get shot down real easily. That's a potential, substitution for Shadowland, but really nothing's going to substitute for Shadowland, honestly. Bizarro World retired. It was in Superman, and we use it because it's very elevation heavy. There's tons of different elevation changes, and pieces like hypersonicking flying Superman can take advantage of that. Couple good replacements are both from Avengers vs. X-Men. One is Wondergore Mountain, which I think was a month 1.
I think it was early.
Maybe 2, but map that was kind of icy looking, and it had like 4 different elevations. And then also from Avengers vs. X-Men, and also called Mountain, it's Verkhoyansk Mountain, and it was also one of the later months maps. So especially Wondergore Mountain, which if you played in AVX, you probably had a good chance of picking one of these maps up.
Yeah.
Next we have Realm of Death.
Biggest.
Realm of Death, actually I found a very good substitution for it. I think you played it today, yeah.
I played on it today.
The map's called Ranks, R-A-N-X, and it is from the War of the Light Green Sinestro Core War pack.
Yeah, that pack.
That comes with the Green Lantern ring and the shield construct and the couple pieces.
This is in addition, it has a bonus if you have like a character with Force Blast. You can do some pretty good things on this map. Like there are these squares that if your opponent is in them at the beginning of their turn,
at the beginning of each turn,
they take damage based on how many tokens they have.
Correct.
And is it unavoidable or is it?
Yeah, it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
I did it to Absorbing Man. Harry was playing Absorbing Man. Uru Forge Absorbing Man, or Uru Man, or whatever as we call him, and I hit him with TK, placed him in there, and made him take some unavoidable damage because you know how hard that Absorbing Man is to hit. That was really my only way.
Force Blast, TK.
So yeah, things that place characters can be useful on that map as well. But that map is so blocking heavy. It's really easily to move.
This is actually Cyclops
without getting shot.
AVX Cyclops is like
Wonderland.
Yeah, you can just do some crazy shit in this map.
So that's a good substitution, and honestly, that scenario pack is worth getting. If you want a review on it, you can go to our YouTube channel. I did a review on it a couple weeks ago and broke down everything. I also used the Horde tokens from the Orange Lantern tokens from that pack today, and they are very good. 2 that I couldn't find really good answers for. Mental Plane is a really good Kryptonian ATA map because it's all outdoors. It's all on the same level, and it's easy to get your Kryptonian ATA. Looking through all of my Modern Age maps, I didn't see one that I would necessarily say is an amazing replacement. So basically, I'm going to leave that one blank. There's plenty that are decent.
Yeah.
There's just not one that I would say is really good. Negative Zone map was also impossible to replace. The good thing about Negative Zone map was it had the special rules where you could not tear up the terrain that's on the outside of the map. And so you could play a barrier-heavy team and play a piece like Iron Pharaoh or Phantom X, and then they couldn't basically get to your Iron Pharaoh or Phantom X because of those special rules.
Negative Zone was
There's nothing to replace it. You know, maps that are really good because of special rules, there's nothing that really can replace them until those same special rules come out. So hopefully that at least gives you an idea of some replacements for those maps that you lost if your Modern Age team, really relies on those things. Let's go through community. Let's start with Dial Design again. Guess who got top scorer week 2?
Was it Swagnito?
Good old Swagnitas.
I swear to God, he is not paying us.
He's not. Wait. Are you lying?
Dude, what do you think about Taco Bell?
Got that Swagnito money?
Got that Swagnito dollars.
So since we did Swagnito for our featured dial last week,
we'll do someone else.
We decided to do the number 2 spot this week. Went to the GD Batman.
That stands for the goddamn Batman.
And this week's assignment was design a dial for a generic figure that has the armor keyword. And the GD Batman chose Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
From Bioshock. And Drew, you want to go over the Big Daddy dial?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the thing that's unique about this Big Daddy, and there have been a lot of them, but I've never seen anything like this, is that he actually comes with a little sister token. Kind of like Alyosha with the lion, except it's a child. He's got a special trait. At the beginning of your turn, you can choose either Range Combat Expert or Close Combat Expert. He can use the chosen power until you choose again. That's pretty fucking good. I like that ability. That ability needs to be on an actual piece. I think does anyone have that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who... Well, beginning of turn, there's not as many, but there's a lot that have something similar. Like, for instance, off the top of my head, the Silver Sable from the Deadpool Gravity Feed. At the beginning of a game, can choose one of those two and use it.
I have never heard of that piece. Anyway, let's continue. He also has another one. You can give him free action, remove Little Sister from Big Daddy and place her in an adjacent square. As long as she's on the map, Big Daddy can use Defend and the Carry ability, but may only affect Little Sister.
I like that.
I do too. He doesn't have any special abilities. He's got cool traits. He's got Indom. He's 150 points. He starts out with Sidestep, Super Strength,
Quake.
That's Quake.
Sorry, let me turn my monitor. It's harder to see.
Color Blind Drew, and I'm guessing that's Battle Fury then.
Quake, Impervious, and Exploit.
That's Exploit.
And then he picks up Battle Fury later.
Okay. Sorry. Colorblind folks. I play a game about colors and I'm colorblind. I know. And then another colorblind guy joined the dugout, and we had a game, and it was ridiculous. You can actually see it. It's on a video. But yeah, his dial is solid.
It's what I would expect. It's pretty accurate.
The little sister is pretty cool. She has sidestep, innate attack, willpower. But the thing you play her for is she's got empower. And she's got 2 traits. She can use support once per attack if Big Daddy is within 6 squares of Little Sister, and she would be hit by an attack. You may place Big Daddy adjacent to Little Sister. If you do, modify Big Daddy's defense value by +2 for this attack, and the target attacks him instead, even if it... This is basically Superman.
Correct, but only for these specific couple. And I love that it's called Mr. Bubbles.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. And then he has another... It's if Little Sister has not been the target of an attack since your last turn, she may use Perplex. If she has been the target of an attack since your last turn and a friendly character named Big Daddy is on the map, he may use Charge as a free action. When he uses Charge in this way, he does not have to have his speed value and can use Improved Movement, ignores characters, and may only target the character who... That's so good.
Yep, I loved it. Personally, I gave this one a 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 9.
And I think that this was our guest judge this week. Who is our guest judge this month?
Did we have one?
Yeah, we do. I can't remember. I think it was Doom PhD. But no, Doom PhD was last month. Sorry, I get it confused because we have so many people. Who is it this month?
We Are Venom.
Venom. He said this Big Daddy was his favorite dial this week, and I think it was probably my favorite dial too. This one and Swagnito's were both really good.
Yeah.
So good job, GD Batman. That is our featured dial, as we have lots of questions this week on various things. Let's start with our Gmail account. This one I actually have not read yet, so hopefully it turns out well. This one I just got from Joshua Stallings. Hi guys, my name is Caleb Stallings. Lying son of a bitch.
This motherfucker.
I'm an intermediate Clicks player from Tennessee. I started playing around Iron Man 3. Ever since I started playing, there's been one set I'd love to see, but know will probably never get made. Evil Dead. I would absolutely love to see this set made. They could have made a Deadlight Ash as a prime, and maybe a Necromicon, a special object. Evil Ash could be a super rare, and the Deadites, aside from the main characters, those could be uncommon. Would be commons alongside different Ashes. Like Duplicate Ash, Mini Ash, Medieval Ash. I've given this a lot of thoughts, just wanted you guys' feedback. Also could go over must-have clicks, the pieces.
He's asking us,
okay. Also, could you go over must-have clicks, the pieces you believe?
Know, yeah.
Okay, so we have done that. It's been a little while.
It has been.
Actually, I'll look through. I'll let Drew talk about Evil Dead because, to be honest, I know absolutely zero, aside from Poker Night at the Inventory. about Ash or about Evil Dead.
Evil Dead is a series of movies.
So Drew can talk about that while I try to find the answer to when...
I'm going to inform you and both of yours, and just in case they don't know
right.
what the fuck Evil Dead is. It's a series of movies. It's a group of horror movies. It's a bunch of campy violence. The third one's more of a comedy, but it's hilarious.
Are they cartoons?
No, they're live action movies.
Okay.
They're horror movies. Bruce Campbell plays Ash as main character. That's how Bruce Campbell actually got super famous. If they were to do an Evil Dead set, it would probably be a Gravity Feed, and it would probably be all commons. And it would have to be after they make a new Evil Dead set, but I could agree that it'd be pretty cool.
A new Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, Evil Dead movie.
Alright, so I'm going back through our episodes to find which ones are the... I know we did like a
We
meta...
did DC and Marvel, and they were separate.
I think we also did like a meta toolbox.
We did.
Okay, well, if you're wanting ones that are for Avengers and X-Men teams, episode 32, AVX Constructed Figures, is a good one. As far as maps that you should have in your meta toolbox, episode 31, I'm the Map.
I'm the Map.
Episode 29, Rock Age Figures, is where we talk about some really good competitive figures that would fit into the Rock Age format. The first annual Dial H Awards, episode 28,
those were good times.
would also be worth listening to because you can hear us talk about best pieces that we think came out in the past year. Excuse me. I guess it has been longer than I thought. Jeez. Okay, episode number 23, Marvel Named Necessities. We did this back in December. Maybe later this year we can redo it.
It feels
like a lot sooner than that to me.
Yeah, I know.
Year in review.
If you like Mage Knight, we did a whole review of that.
We did a Marvel one too. I could have
Or a
sworn.
DC. You mentioned the Marvel one.
I did?
Yeah. Episode 12.
Episode 12, jeez. It's DC themed.
And it was just me and you.
Necessities. So, yeah, listen to all those I just numbered.
Austin's been skipping out on the podcast since episode 12.
Yeah. That's true. I tell you, alright, the next one he misses, I've got something in my back pocket I'm holding for that. Sorry, so that answers his question. We have another one from Gmail. Eric Linnell. Hey guys, congrats on your 1-year anniversary. Since Austin loves questions and you guys... Oh, Austin's not here, son of a bitch. Loves questions and you guys always put out an episode each week, I figure the least I can do is write you some questions each week. So here it goes. Number 1, what's your reaction to a female Thor? And do you think Marvel has trouble developing compelling female characters that don't derive their notoriety from their male counterparts? Let's answer it in two parts.
Okay.
What's your reaction to female Thor? I just told Drew about this today.
I knew about it because it's a big thing, but I don't know how... We obviously don't know how it's going to go down.
Correct. So, just a quick detail before we say our personal opinions. For those of you who don't know, because I just saw it a few days ago. Mm-hmm. And actually, Ron Messbarger on Facebook asked us the same question. So, Ron, here's the answer to your question, too. From what I read on Marvel.com or wherever the hell I was reading it, there's going to be 3 new books coming up. One's all new Cap, one's all new Thor, one's superior Iron Man. Iron Man is really, I don't even know why they're redoing it, but basically the thing behind Iron Man is he's going to, I think, San Francisco or San Diego, I think Francisco, and he's building a city there. He's trying to change things for the better. I don't know. That's what his book is about. Something happens to Cap where he cannot hold the mantle of Captain America for now, and so Falcon is taking over it. First they didn't say who it was, but you could tell it was a black guy, and now
Who's the only black guy?
And now they did confirm that it is. They confirmed it is in fact Falcon a couple days later. And then Thor is a female Thor. And all the details they said on that was that we will find out in Original Sin why Thor cannot hold the mantle of Thor. So Exactly what's going to happen, we don't know. We'll be finding out in basically the next 2 months, I guess. As far as our reaction to a female Thor, I guess I kind of don't like it because Thor: God of Thunder is the best Marvel book right now. I mean, there honestly is no Marvel book better than Thor.
I'm happy because I can masturbate to Thor now and it won't be gay.
So all those times, you should have just waited to masturbate to Thor this whole time. You could have just waited. You don't regret it. You have no regrets.
No regrets.
I see it in your face.
Drew Alderson, 2014, no regrets.
As long as Thor: God of Thunder as long as this is like somehow separate from that, and I still get that book because that
book is insane.
It's one of my favorite books right now. As long as that doesn't mean that is gone, then I guess I'm fine with it. The second part: do you think Marvel has trouble developing compelling female characters that don't derive notoriety from their male counterparts? I don't think so.
I don't.
The Black Widow solo books they've done over the years have been really good. Miss Marvel's really good.
Yeah.
I really like Maria Hill in Secret Avengers is always really good. Sharon is good, but I guess she never really gets any personal attention. It's always her and Cap.
Yeah.
Who else is a good female character that kind of is on their own and good strong? Well, that's not. I'm not sure. It'll take some thinking.
Medusa?
I don't personally. I don't personally think
Black Bolt's gone. They never Medusa.
That's true. They are making a focus of a strong female lead with Medusa right now, but
I don't know if it'll succeed.
No, I don't honestly think Marvel has trouble developing.
I don't either.
Characters. Number 2, does Larfleeze's barrier allow you to quake a character multiple times if they are adjacent to multiple squares of blocking terrain placed by the qualifying characters? I don't think so, but let's read it real quick.
I'm gonna guess no.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I want to pull it up and read the wording. Larfleeze can use barrier and plasticity. When he uses barrier, after actions resolve, he can use quake as a free action, as if he occupied all blocking terrain markers placed by friendly characters with the Orange Lantern keyword. So it's only one quake.
Yeah, it's not multiple actions.
So just because one person is adjacent to 3 blocking terrain markers doesn't mean they're going to get quaked 3 times. It's still only one quake. So no, they're only going to get hit once. Also, that reminds me, we have a retraction from the Shadowland question that we talked about last week. The next day, on Monday, I went through and finally found my Shadowland map and read the actual official wording on it. And then I also got 2 emails a couple days later, people saying the same thing, that actually Thanos cannot use his power against them because of the word targeting is included on the special rules. Oh. On the special rules on the map, the word targeting is in there. So
very nice.
We retract our previous statement. Thanos actually cannot get you all the way across the map when on the Shadowland map. Sorry for that. Let's go back to Eric's questions. Number 3, you mentioned you enjoy Game of Thrones. That was also an Andrew. I still haven't got to watch it yet. I think Hunter looks like Benjen Stark.
You do.
Austin looks like Samwell Tarly.
He does.
And Drew looks like Varys with hair and glasses. Thoughts?
I am honored that I look anywhere nearly as good as a Targaryen, but thank you.
All right, I'll pull up Benjen Stark.
You do look like Benjen Stark.
He better be a one good-looking son of a bitch.
He is. He's a bit older. He kind of look... use Google image search because you're not going to get the actor from the fucking...
Yeah, I don't know why this is defaulting to Yahoo all of a sudden. I guess I kind of look like him when I'm... Yeah, it looks like an older me. I can see that.
Yeah.
I've seen better days. It looks like I've seen some shit in my day in this picture. But yeah, I guess I can see that.
Okay.
Number 4.
Oh wait, Varys. That's the fat guy. Thank you.
My store will be doing War of the Light Constructed for months number 5 and 6 if we don't get boosters. Any general tips for such a format? If you're only using War of the Light, I would say, here's the thing. Weaponer is going to be getting played a lot. Let's be honest. If you're allowed to use all of the starter set stuff like the Pogs, and you're allowed to use the pieces that are in there, and all the participation prizes and everything, it changes it a little bit, but for the most part, expect everybody to be running Weaponer and some Blue Lanterns to power him up, because that would be my first initial, obvious thought too. Especially with like the Blue Lantern Recruit, so he could have some TK too, so he can literally reach you across the map. So what are you going to need to combat Weaponer? Well, personally, I would try... Man, he's such a pain in the ass in this limited of a format.
Good fucking luck is my first...
Yeah, in this limited of a format, he really is.
Just, honestly, we don't know everything yet. Despotellus is good.
Despotellus would be great because he could tie him up and annoy him.
But please...
But one pulse wave would
pulse
kill him, is the problem with that.
He's got the best chance of hitting Despotellus of anybody, honestly.
Maybe some Larfleeze and a big Orange Lantern team because of all the barrier they have, and those, like I said today, those Orange Lantern absorbed tokens I used today. They're one of the best tokens I've ever used in my life.
Blue Lanterns are good because you can perp.
Yeah. You could just perp up defense, but he's still going to hit you because he's going to be perping his offense up.
No, I mean perp your attack so you can hit the motherfucker.
Yeah, the problem is he just has such a huge swing. I really don't know.
Orange Lanterns are good. He can't be perplexed.
Yeah, I honestly don't have an answer for that limited. I still think a good player with Weaponer.
Red Lanterns are going to be really good.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's going to... Oh, yeah, that's true. By then, the Red Lanterns will come out. So maybe you could go with the heavy poison team, swarm them, penetrating poison the crap out of them, and just hope that you can take them down. But
he's not very great down dial once he loses the running shot.
The key to fighting Weaponer is you got to hit him for 2. He has to take 2 off of his top click. Then he loses his move and attack. And he still has pick a power, but he loses his move and attack.
He's not much of a problem bottom click because he doesn't have the stupid bullshit.
Yeah, so if you're facing Weaponer, a couple things to remember. 2 to knock him off of move and attack. 6 to knock him off of pick a power.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 things to remember. But honestly, I think Weaponer is... Expect Weaponer and honestly play Weaponer.
If you get Weaponer, play the motherfucker.
I'll give it some more thought because, like I said, he doesn't bust through blocking and he can't fly over it because he's grounded. But blocking barrier may be able to slow him down, but he's pretty much going to run the show. Number 5, I too enjoyed Donato's. The Founder's Favorite is my favorite as well. What's yours?
Pepperoni.
The old classic.
Just give me pepperoni and I'll eat it all day.
I, from pretty much any pizza place, always order similar to the same thing because it's just what I like on my pizza. Pepperoni, ham, and green peppers, and sometimes banana peppers.
I like jalapenos a lot. I like pineapple with jalapenos. I discovered after Pizza Hut has these like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pizzas, and one of them was like ham, pepperoni, pineapple, and jalapenos.
That sounds amazing.
It was fucking awesome.
I'm trying that next time we get pizza.
Yeah.
Then we had a message on Jamie Lovett messaged us on our Facebook. I'm headed out to SDCC for work next week, so I'm going to have a chance to grab some of the 4-cell con LEs. I can't afford the $50 big colossals, and the lack of keywords on Impossible Man makes him a non-starter for me, since I always play Theme. I was wondering if you guys thought from a gameplay perspective rather than resale value. Resurrection Man and the white Black Lantern batteries are worth their price tag. Resurrection Man seems kind of fun, but his keywords aren't great and his numbers seem questionable. The batteries, white in particular, seem pretty good, but do they really stand out over the other resources available, particularly the Green Lantern battery I'm already getting from War of the Light? Money's kind of tight, so that's why I'm trying to get expert opinion. Thanks for any advice.
Okay.
I said, in my mind, including the Colossals and everything, personally, I'm going to be buying one of everything. But the only the only thing I would label must-have is the battery pack. Mm-hmm. The white and black, honestly. Because like he said, Impossible Man and Resurrection Man, while they're good and while they're fun, and I'm definitely am excited to get to try them, they're not must-have pieces. And they're not pieces that you can play all the time. Honestly, because of the keywords. He hit that on the head.
Bring up Resurrection Man.
Same with the Colossals.
You mentioned, do I think he is worth it? He's down there, all the way down bottom.
Resurrection Man
Okay,
at least has Future keyword, but other than that, Forgotten Heroes and Justice Legion A. Like, Future's really the only theme team. If he's worried about theme team, you'll be able to play him on. I like how he plays, though.
I do, too.
He's really cool.
He's got a lot of cool stuff.
And he has the whole D20 and all that crazy stuff. But I would say the black and white lanterns, because I've used the Green Lantern power battery 3 times now. I got to use it today again, and I love the power battery. I love how it's set up.
It's so good.
I love the variety, the possible potential combinations with all the different constructs on all these different characters, plus adding the rings in there too.
Do we know what they do?
We don't know. So Drew and I were talking about this today. I hope that the other color packs are not just reprints of the same constructs that we have from the green ones. Like, oh, here's your red pack. It's a red crossbow, a red shield, a red decoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're hoping that they mix things up and like everything, because then think of the potentials. It's like I have a green shield.
It'll be the best
red
resource
handcuffs
they've ever printed,
and an orange ring, because it makes this character so damn good. Like, that's what I love about the power battery. So personally, I would say you do need to pick up the white and the black. Especially because, like you said, the white looks really good. Their matchup, if you have everything together, looks really good. But that's just me. That's what I would suggest. That's only must-have. And I do think that the power batteries are going to be very competitive in clicks. Think that's it for Facebook. Then there was there something on YouTube, or did I already say it? Oh, yes, there is one thing on YouTube. And a guy brought up, let me see if I can find his name so I can give him credit. James Griffin on YouTube said, to replace the Scarlet Witches for the Iron Pharaoh teams, I've been using the Deadpool Fast Forces Mercy. She's been doing work for me.
She's actually really good.
Mercy was even on my list, on my paper last week, and I literally just forgot to mention her while we were talking about it. So yes, I was going to bring her up today anyways. I'm glad you reminded me. Fast Forces Mercy at both point options, but especially 50, is very good. The only thing is she doesn't have mystical keywords, so she didn't fit that build. That's the main problem, is because Scarlet Witches also kept the mystical theme with Iron Pharaoh. But Mercy cannot, but she does give you barrier, probability control, and TK, along with flight so that she can carry too.
She's good.
So she's very good for 50 points. This is another piece to throw in your meta toolbox.
I like her a lot.
And so that answers our questions. People have been asking what's up with our YouTube channel. I just put the best build videos up this week from the past week's matches. And then I just purchased my Guardians of the Galaxy starter set. I am doing the review on that tomorrow and hope to have it posted by Monday night or Tuesday. I have a really busy work week coming up, but I'm going to try to get it up by Monday or Tuesday. Spoilers, it's really fucking good. It's probably the best starter set they have ever done.
I didn't believe him until he showed me it, but yeah,
the dials are very good.
It's top 2, probably. I don't know what the other one is.
It's up there. SOG was really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Thunderbolts one wasn't bad, but SOG was really good.
But this one's nuts.
And there was another one that... What was the other one that I always would say was also really good? Batman one is good. Honestly, this is the best starter set they've ever done. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there.
Nuts.
But if you want actual breakdowns on all the pieces and reviews and everything, look on YouTube later this week. I'll have that up. That's going to do it for us for our short format. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Gmail. Of course, at Dial H for Heroclix. On Gmail, it is just simply Dial H for Heroclix at gmail.com. Excuse me. Be sure to follow us on there. We will be with you next week with a full episode format. Not sure exactly what our topic's going to be yet. Maybe talk about Guardians of the Galaxy movie review. If we have nothing else to talk about by that point.
There's a lot of good pieces in it.
But we'll be back next week, hopefully with Austin for once.
Maybe.
We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.